Yeah, I think, just think about the people side of that. Maybe the first and sort of some of the iconic images are around the Arctic or Antarctica, so there aren't a lot of people up there, although there are Inuit people, and they are feeling right now today the effects of climate change, just starting with as the sea levels rise, as the permafrost that they basically live on starts to melt and not be permanent anymore. It's changing their entire way of life. It's changing everything from fishing to hunting grounds to the stability of their homes. They have to keep moving back. It's really, I did visit there once, and it's pretty stark and dramatic. But then you have to sort of look at what scientists say are likely outcomes as climate continues to change. The first maybe, and most iconic, is sea level rise. So coastal communities. And I know when we think of the coast, we think of wealthy people, some of us included, who can afford waterfront views, but think about New Orleans, or think about communities in the South or all over the country. Historically, some of the least desirable land was the wetlands, the swamps, the areas that flooded easily. If you live in an area that floods easily, because that's where our housing communities were, it's going to flood that much more once sea levels change. So that's one issue. The second is around issues of droughts and flooding. So climate is water, it's the water cycle. So as we see more changes and more frequency of weather events that are already catastrophic, whether it be a flood or a drought or a severe storm, those who are least financially ready and resilient and able to handle those kind of changes are going to be quite impacted. So for the African American community, which still, I hate to generalize, but still, if you look at the statistics, has less personal wealth, less capital saved up, less savings, more likely to be either unemployed or living closer to paycheck to paycheck. As people of color, I'll just go with poor people. That's who's going to be impacted here. Now, internationally, whether you look at the desertification of Africa and parts of Asia, whether you look at sort of the loss of forest, which is already happening for development reasons in Africa, and what that means in terms of everything from water security to land security, I think there'll be issues. And I think African environment ministers have come to that conclusion and have been actively working on those issues.